We recording? There we go. What is going on, everybody? I just want to pop in. Got the WEDM shirt on. Did that a few hours ago. Just haven't taken it off. Shout out the station. What I wanted to pop on here before, once again, this is a archive or legacy episode, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. I don't even have a name for it myself. But just want to talk about some stuff. So first, so on the YouTube. Right now, at this moment, this is Saturday that I am recording this. We're at 34 subscribers, and that's plus one from like the last time I checked it before. And you know, to many people overall, that might mean like, oh, 34, okay, like not even 50. I don't care about the numbers. It's easy to get caught up in the numbers. Like looking at this Joshua Broom episode, that's been climbing up. And it's just crazy. I could get caught up in that. I have accidentally before, but I got to realize, like, I'm happy I can do this anyway. I got to, like, really humble myself. Like, right now, it's doing really well. Better than any other video that I've ever made. So not only is that just showing that this whole Munch with Honeybunch thing is really panning out well, but with those 34 subscribers, I'm trying to log into my other YouTube account, but it's just representing... Okay, on my other account I had 31, and the things I'm able to do with this Munch with Honeybunch show is just great. I never had 30. The only reason that the my other account has gone up because I've promoted it a lot and all the music that I put on there. But for Munch with Honeybunch to do that and to do it in like, when did I start this? Maybe 8 months ago. So to do that, when I've been doing YouTube on the other channel, I've had that same channel since I started trying. Like, I don't know how exactly long. Let me try to find that. Like, I've been doing it for a long, long time, and I don't know if people realize that. Like, if I go to the oldest video, Madden 25 free player glitch, I believe that was 2014. That was 7 years ago, and I was 10. Just trying to get famous off of YouTube and everything, but now making another... Sorry, somebody's commenting. I'm sorry, I got caught up on the radio station social media. So I've been doing YouTube for so long on the other account just to see the great things that I've been able to do with this one account, the people that I've been able to reach, the messages that I've been able to put out, the videos I've been able to put out, the opportunities coming with all that. It's just been fantastic, and I can't thank every single one of you enough. And, you know, with the podcast, with the audio platforms, I'm appreciative of everything I can do for that. And it's like, I'm figuring that out myself. Like, that's my first time doing that. But YouTube, you know, I don't want to consider myself an expert, but I've known enough of it, and it's just really crazy. And I'm really thankful for everybody sticking along with me, because I thought it was just gonna end up like the other channel, just like, oh, whatever, man. Now I get to get my friends involved. We're gonna see another video with Will and Eli this week. Get to talk to people around the world. I get to talk to NFL players, professional athletes, gamers, like great people, pastors. It's even right now, I'm happy at everything I've been able to do, and I know in the long run, I'm really gonna be proud that I got it started, because I was really, I guess, just, you know, real talk, I was not in a bad place, but I was really struggling, and I'm glad I motivated myself to start it, because I was trying to do another little run of YouTube during the summer, because I did the 2K Street videos. If you want to find the other channel, you can go to my Instagram, and in the link tree, it's on there. But yeah, it's just, this has been it's been like a job, you know. I've had to keep on top of it, stay on a schedule. I've been getting overwhelmed, stacking on school, everything going on with school, personal life, all that, but it doesn't matter in the long run, because I've really had fun. And I didn't realize I've been going on for 5 minutes with this, So let me get on to the other stuff before. I hope you're still here. If you are, thank you. I don't want to be like, drop a carrot in the chat, because that doesn't work anyway. But I'm just really appreciative. But for this episode, get the microphone over here. For this episode, this is one time, like I mentioned, an older episode with Coach West, and I wanted to get it out, or I was planning on getting it out before anything happened, but we found out that Coach West is no longer at Warren Central. Happened fast, but no, thank you for everything Coach West has done. I believe he was maybe his first or second year he got Warren to a championship, and now we have Coach Kirshner. I don't know if I think it's Kirshner. I don't know. I'm not gonna be here for it, so it's not like I couldn't care less, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. I call him Coach K. But yeah, Coach West has done some great things, and the backstory with this recording that we did, it was just a regular day in TV, and my teachers were like, hey, you should do this, and I was like, oh, I gotta figure out questions on the fly, so I did that. I was wearing sweatpants, and I don't get too many of these episodes where it's like something that I didn't like and that I couldn't change. Like with Will, I think we kept it to where the sign fell in the end. I can't remember. Maybe, no, we cut it out because we had to. But just in general, I'm kind of pet peeve-ish, whatever. It doesn't matter, though. I think this was a pretty good interview. Great to meet Coach West, and you're going to see that. I wanted to have somebody else so I could stash this episode more, but that does not matter. And as we are nearing the 7-minute mark, I want to thank you for tuning in. Stay awesome. And obviously, subscribe if you're new here on YouTube. Like the video and audio. Stay awesome. Yeah. My throat hurts. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm about to end it. But the cran apple, they be hitting, man. I'm telling you, they hit. What's poppin', everyone? It's Christian Oates, aka Honeybunch, back for another episode of Munch with Honeybunch. Today, I'm joined by Coach Jayson West of the Warren Central football team. And nice to formally meet you, Coach West.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
And he's going to join me today, and we're going to be eating some Cheerios. And what do you think about Cheerios, Coach West?
It's 100% whole grain oats, which is a wonderful start to your day. But I'm a big fan of Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios is my thing, and my kids, that's their favorite cereal. So we smash that on the regular.
Sometimes you got to go back to the old classics.
You got to go to the basics, yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get this started pouring. And, Coach, you were recognized to coach this year's Army Bowl. Now, what was the recognition like for you?
I'd been an assistant coach in the 2013 game, so to be a head coach of the game, you had to have been an assistant at some point. And so, it's a great honor, and it's humbling because it's really not about you. It's about all of the people that have made it possible. Head coaches, we get a lot of credit and we get a lot of blame, but these type of things means that you had a lot of people work with you in a real positive direction your whole career, because your reputation has to be there, the wins have to be there, the kids you're sending to college have to do positive and good things. It all comes together, and since it's a national all-star game, it's the most prestigious one in the country. And last time I coached in it, I had Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, Royce Freeman as running back. So it is a big deal with big-time players. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting for school. It's, exciting for the community, exciting for our program, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
All right, we can go and take a first bite of this cereal.
Cereal, huh? No, honey. You're gonna watch me eat on TV? I don't know if that's still good. I'm a sugar man. I loaded up when I was a kid. I had a lot of cavities, so I think this is a Cheerios fault.
That's the one that need to get filled, but
you get busy.
Were you the one where were you when you found out about the news?
Actually, I got a call from Shannon Furbush. He actually played here, and is one of the I don't know, call him big dogs at Adidas, who pretty much runs the game and does that part of Adidas. And what he does is amazing. He's done for this community, the Adidas deal that we get for our entire school. But Shannon called and said, hey, would you like to be the head coach? I'm like, well, heck yeah. I mean, first of all, anything for him, because he does so much for our school and our community and so many schools in Indiana and across the country. So it's the least we can do to return that type of favor, but when you're asked to do something as prestigious as this, it's obviously an honor and very humbling, and you jump on the opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal for high school coaches.
Mm-hmm. And looking forward to regionals this week, how do you prepare for Center Grove?
Well, you know, the good news is our kids have played Center Grove since kindergarten every year through, you know, youth league to middle school to now. So they're very familiar with each other, and that's why it's always a tough game between us and them, Carmel and us. It's always a close, tight scoring game. They know each other very well. We usually play each other 1 or 2 times a year, so it's kind of like NFL football, conference football. They just know each other very well. So it's really, really tough sledding, if that makes sense, to get things moving on offense. So, yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a tight game, low-scoring game as usual, and so it's going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. So we're going to focus on that all week, not so much about what we can do to them, but what we can't do to ourselves. And if we can eliminate those things, then, you know, we have a shot to win the game, because they're a team that doesn't make many mistakes, and that's why they're so good.
We can go ahead and get another bite.
I was waiting, man.
And how has the team grown since week 1 of the season?
In a lot of ways, they've matured very much. And, you know, this group had not been on the field really. Last year, 40 seniors. I had, I think, 2 kids on each side of the ball returning, and Randy flipped. so for what they've done is really amazing. I think our coaches and them together have done just the best job I could ask for. You know, we are a play or 2 away from actually only losing maybe 1 or 2 games, and so in that schedule with the brand new players it is really a special year. And they took the offseason. We were really hard on them. We pressed them, and mentality was the key. It wasn't the physicality piece. It was more, can they hold together when it gets tough, when it gets cold, when you're playing in a hostile environment. You know, will you keep fighting for your teammate, fighting for your brother? And at this point of the year, they've done an outstanding job of doing that. I got a lot of respect for them. You know, as their coach, I got to still pound them and keep being hard on them and pushing. But the thing is, they don't really know how we really feel about them, because we don't have time to sit down and talk about that stuff. But in these realms, we do, and that's when I'm most proud, because you get to see your product of what you put on the field, and what they put on the field is really been really good stuff. Like the cereal break after the question. It's good.
Nice and refreshing. And you mentioned playing in the cold weather. From what I've experienced, it sucks. And playing in the cold weather compared to just watching must be so much worse.
As a coach, every day in the cold is terrible. It's just terrible. There's no other way to get around it. It's the worst part of coaching, because it's cold and you're not running and moving. You're not dressed up. You just got a jacket on and you're trying to stay warm. And then you're trying to emit that energy that you're not cold. And it's all fantasy. We're freezing, but we gotta, you know, put that tough guy persona on, and because you have to embody that as a team. Because, you know, when we went to Carmel this year and it was cold and it was rainy, it was terrible. It was a mentally challenging night. That was tough on both teams. It was tough on everybody, coaches, the fans. It was just a tough night, and that happens in Indiana. You know, so if you want to win a state championship in Indiana, you got to get used to it, and you got to embrace it. You almost got to love it, and if you don't, then you'll find a way out, and many teams do.
I've always found like football in the snow beautiful, but just I hate that the weather comes along. Cause, like, if we can get 60 degrees, but with snow, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Indiana gives you a few days like that, but not many. It goes usually from pretty hot and humid to you get about 2 weeks where you're like, hey, this is great. And then it goes straight to freezing. I don't know how. We feel like we skip a step every year, but, you know, it seems to be true like that. But it's okay. The boys enjoy the environment. It kind of makes each game a little different and special, because it enhances your memories, I think, when you play it in the snow. If you just, like when I coached in Florida, it was just hot and every game's the same, and you can't hardly distinguish them unless it rained. So it's nice that you can plant those other seeds of memories that allow you to recall them, like when we played LC in the sectionals here a few years ago, and that snow that was coming down was just beautiful. You know, that's a memory that this type of climate does give you. But we've been in some at Carmel that I just want to forget completely, because it was terrible, and it was really tough. So I think it's a give and take thing. It's a positive and negative deal.
Are we going to get another bite? And for the season's overall run for state and trying to become back-to-back champions, how What's kind of different compared to last season since there's more at risk?
The difference is just that the kids, even though they're still warriors, they're different people. And they have different skill sets and different ways to handle things, different types of athletes, different types of students, different types of mentality. So coaching in high school is really difficult. It's not like college or pro where you can go get the players you want and build around them. You have to build around what you have every year. So that was the biggest challenge this year is how do we get our team built around what we have? And next year it's going to be exact same challenges. Everybody's gone. We're going to have 1 or 2 starters back on each side of the ball, and we have to really start from scratch every year. People don't get that about 6A football around here. You know, most schools, smaller schools, which I've coached at and played at, you know, your good sophomores play because you don't have enough bodies. So you're always having a continuous, you know, bodies on the field that kind of at least get the process. Here it's a, you know, tabula rasa almost every year. So it is a challenge. It's an exciting challenge. It's nerve-wracking because you just look bad at times, and defense is a little easier to manage because it's more of an easier schematic part. Offense is usually really the challenge, and you see MIC teams struggle usually beginning of the year because our defenses in the MIC are just very, very good, and they hammer us. They hammer the offensive side of the ball, and then when you get a rare group like last year, you know, it was Warren group that was special right out the gate. Ben Davis the year before, you know, Carmel a couple years ago, Center Grove a few years ago with East. You get those offenses that get those special players. It does make it very difficult, but if you don't have those, again, it's tough sledding for the MIC teams just because you have to find it's like pro football. You're just not going to line up scoring people. And people don't get that, and that's okay. But it is tough, and it is hard, and it's a unique challenge that we're up for and we're used to.
All right, we can get one last bite in. And here's our stinger, which is our last question. What's the most important thing you've learned throughout all of your years as a coach?
That it's a learning process that in 10 years I'm going to look back and think I didn't even know anything today, because if you're not growing, you're dying in this game. You really are. And so you have to continue to get better. You can't rest on what you've done. And, you know, if we continue to do that, then I'll always like our chances. The day we stop doing that is when I'll know it's time for me to be done, or time for new leadership direction, because it's that important to the process.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach West, for coming out and joining me today. That's going to do it for this episode of Munch with Honeybunch. Have a day, everyone.